and second from the bottom, Charlton Athletic. It's not going to be an easy game for Notts, 6 games without a win. And Charlton, although second from the bottom, surprised a few people last week with that 3-1 victory over Newcastle United at St James's Park. As the officials come out onto the pitch, led by referee Mr. Philip Wright of Northwich, we can run through the teams for you. And Notts, as ever, have Steve Cherry in goal. Charlie Palmer is number 2, and restored to the left back position is Nicky Platnauer. Craig Short and Dean Yates 4 and 5. Phil Robinson at 6. Dean Thomas wears 7, and Mark Draper comes in for the injured Phil Turner at number 8. Turner still struggling with a hamstring. Gary Lund and Kevin Bartlett are 9 and 10, and Tommy Johnson back in favour here at Meadow Lane is number 11. Chris Short and David Regis, the 2 subs. Of course, Regis, the goal scorer at Oldham on Saturday. And Charlton have Bob Boulder in goal. Darren Pitcher and Mark Reid are their 2 full backs. Andy Peake wears 4. 5 and 6, Simon Webster and Stuart Balmer. Robert Lee wears 7. Steve Mackenzie, ever the danger man, at number 8. Alex Dyer wears 9. Gordon Watson and Scott Minto complete the Charlton lineup. Chris Wilder and Alan Curbishley, the player coach, is the second substitute, and he's certainly been around. Charlton, a side not short on experience. Andy Peake for 1 in midfield, and striker Steve Mackenzie another. Of course, Mackenzie remembered for his times with Manchester City and that FA Cup final appearance against Tottenham Hotspur. So Notts 6 games without a win, bidding to get back into the top 6 of the table, and Charlton struggling at the wrong end of the second division, desperately needing points to build on that fine 3-1 victory over Newcastle at St James's Park. Referee then, Mr. Philip Wright of Northwich, checks with the 2 keepers and prepares to get this game underway. And Notts have possession, and Phil Robinson turns it all the way back. Bob Boulder, the former Sheffield Wednesday keeper, has a good feel of the ball and hits a big wayward goal kick forward. And Alex Dyer has no chance really of catching that one, so it'll be a Notts throw, and Charlie Palmer is the man who will take it. Well, Yates straight in on Dyer there, and that's going to be quite a clash between those 2, and certainly worth keeping an eye on in this game, as Charlton have possession again with a throw. Notts beaten 2-1 by Oldham Athletic at Boundary Park on Saturday, and they need to bounce back with 3 points against Charlton tonight, because there are some difficult home games coming up. West Ham United, West Brom and Swindon in November. Steve Cherry hits one of his familiar long goal kicks, and it's not very well cleared by Darren Pitcher. Notts have possession, chance for Platnauer to cross, but he's blocked. It's good enough because Notts have a corner. An opportunity perhaps for Notts to snatch an early lead here at Meadow Lane. The corner swung into the near post. Boulder can't hold it, but nevertheless gets a goal kick. A Notts County striker getting a last touch. But a moment of panic for Charlton, all stemming from that bad bit of defending by Darren Pitcher, who was put under pressure by Nicky Platnauer. Good forward running by Platnauer. Platnauer this time beaten to the header by Robert Lee. Charlton in possession. Fine recovery by Notts. And they try and change the play unsuccessfully. This could be dangerous. Mark Reid trying to break. Charlie Palmer was quick across. And not a little bit too quick for the referee. Cherry strikes the free kick forward. Thomas finds Robinson. Robinson tries to put Gary Lund in on the far side. Fine challenge by Yates. Notts have possession again. Lund, but this time he's beaten by number 6 Stuart Balmer. He skippered Celtic's youth team a few seasons ago, but was unable to break into the side at Parkhead and moved to Charlton for £100,000. And hopefully he'll see plenty of action tonight as Notts break once again with Johnson. Finds Palmer. Reid makes the clearance, but it's still not away, and Dyer comes back to help and wins the free kick. Charlton wasting no time at all to counter-attack. Here's Mackenzie wide on that right-hand side. Chooses to play the ball inside to Pitcher. It's back to Mackenzie. Charlton win the free kick. And Craig Short not very happy about that decision. Nevertheless takes his place back in the heart of the Notts defence. And Andy Peake stands over the ball. Peake and Mackenzie. And Mackenzie is the man who'll flight it in from the right hand side. Platnauer with the clearance. Has a lot to prove, Nicky Platnauer. Been out of favour recently after getting a torrid time against Jimmy Carter of Millwall, but back in the side, and he's been busy in this first few minutes. Charlton still on the attack here, but Notts get the ball away. Tommy Johnson, another young man with a point to prove. Johnson, some tidy play by the youngster, but Lund misses out. Reid finds Lee. Platnauer in the thick of the action once again. Dyer strays into an offside position, and he won't argue with that decision. Steve Cherry comes forward again to take the free kick. Long searching ball. Lund was first to it, but Scott Minto gains possession. Johnson wins it back. Still Notts have it with Robinson. Draper rides 2 challenges. This could be interesting for Notts now. Dean Thomas has a chance to shoot. Fine effort. The bowler did have it covered all the way. Neil Warnock beneath me shouting instructions to his team. And still Notts trying to organise themselves at the back. Charlton with Dyer up forward and Robert Lee. And of course Gordon Watson. Perhaps an unfamiliar name with Notts supporters. 19 years old, made his league debut last season after scoring 48 goals for Charlton's reserves. But Notts break. Dean Thomas has support from Draper and uses it. And Draper hits a deep cross. Well, that gave Gary Lund a little bit too much to do. Charlton certainly arrive at Meadow Lane with some ambitious tactics. Watson, Lee and Dyer lead their attack. And their enthusiasm in these early stages proves that they're not here to shut up shop at the back. Useful first time ball by Palmer, but Notts are caught offside. The offside trap works successfully. Just to point about Bob Boulder, the Charlton keeper. Of course, he's another player with plenty of experience, but he's been vying for the #1 jersey this season with Mick Salmon. Tonight, though, Boulder gets the vote. Notts must test him. Neil Warnock still quite vociferous beneath me, and he's not quite 100% happy with the Notts attack, and Notts yet to string together any kind of shape or momentum. Johnson, Lund, Bartlett have the task of providing the goals for County. Dyer handballs. Mackenzie isn't happy with the decision, and referee Mr. Wright tells him perhaps to button his lip, and he does just that, retreating to defence as Notts have another free kick. Bowler can only punch. Notts still have a chance of possession, but Charlton clear their lines again. Platnauer has Thomas in support, chooses to hit the ball forward, but Lund won't catch that one, and Gary Lund's been given quite a lot to do with these long through balls. Perhaps he'd appreciate some better service. Boulder with yet another goal kick. And Pitcher's first touch lets him down. Notts have possession again. Platnauer looking for the 1-2 with Lund, it didn't work. Danger for Notts. Dyer turns direction, but he's no one to pass to, and a poor ball in the end. But Notts have possession here with Draper. Chance for County. Draper willing to take two players on and almost succeeds. Two Charlton players needed there to thwart the challenge of young Draper. They've covered a fair bit of ground. Not urged on by their supporters. Chance for Bartlett, fine cross, and Charlton struggle to clear the danger there. Notts almost catching the Reds out. It was Bartlett's cross from the far side, and Robert Lee had the final touch. Boulder gratefully received that one and tests the Notts back four once again. Both sides relying on that long ball in these early stages. And with 11 minutes on the clock, it really hasn't been much of a contest in the middle of the park. And both goalkeepers being kept busy with some long kicks. Short. Mackenzie making himself useful very deep, but Pitcher turns it all the way back. Long kick by Boulder. Well, they might be dangerous tonight, those goal kicks, but Steve Cherry made light work of that one. Notts weren't worried. Robinson misses out. Charlton can be dangerous on the break. They proved that against Newcastle last week. And they have possession now. Free kick. Robert Lee complains again. An under-21 youth international, Robert Lee. Yates gets the touch. And the second time. And he's quickly back into position as Charlton prepare to take the throw-in. The ball's with Reid. Chance for Lee to look square but can't make the pass. And the ball ballooning around in the middle of the park. And referee Mr. Wright is called upon to blow his whistle once again. A scrappy opening. And the best chance so far falling to Notts, albeit a half chance, with that cross from Bartlett. Cherry tells Yates he's got plenty of time, but he hits it forward. And Lund's little flick wasn't too far away from giving Bartlett a run at goal. Notts, remember, 9th in the second division tonight. I'm certainly hoping to improve upon that position after failing to gain revenge at Oldham for that previous cup defeat. Charlton boosted by that victory against Newcastle, looking confident without yet testing Steve Cherry. Notts have the throw. Chance for County. Lund out wide. He's got nowhere to go. Thomas supports, but he's deep. Chance for Platnauer. Turns his man. The linesman flags, but the referee says play on. Chance for Notts County. Balmer with a header. Lund with the second one. And that was only inches over the top. Gary Lund at the centre of some hard work there, and it was almost a telling finish by the striker. A let-off for Charlton. Notts perhaps settling into some sort of rhythm now. There's a chance for Robinson to pass. Well, perhaps Notts would like to think they could keep possession a little bit longer. The ball toing and froing between both sides. And Notts have already proved that when they can string a few passes together, they can actually open up this Charlton defence. But the Reds come forward, a chance for Dyer. Palmer covers. Notts now on the defensive. Dyer cuts inside the box, low cross. Chance for Watson. Watson can't turn. And Notts clear the danger through Charlie Palmer. Fine play by Lund, beats Pitcher. He's got options, hits it forward for Bartlett. Johnson's also giving chase. And Notts now showing signs, perhaps, of putting together some attractive flowing football. Best chance of the game in these early stages, on 15 minutes, falling to Gary Lund with a header just over the top. Andy Peake, the Charlton skipper, is going to take this free kick and rolls it perhaps about a foot to the left back, Mark Reid. Charlton still in possession. Nicky Platnauer's certainly been busy in these early stages. Without Notts coming under much pressure, Platnauer showing his attacking flair. and he's helped Notts to mount several raids down that left-hand side, without any one of them coming to fruition just yet. Charlton concede another throw-in just inside their own half. Well, this move stemming from Balmer's long clearance and short, puts it rather short. Cherry covered well, sensed the danger, did the Notts keeper, and was out well to Craig Short's assistance. Cherry very fond of rolling the ball outside his box to clear. It's another one at Gary Lund, but he's beaten by Simon Webster. Webster, the former Sheffield United player. He's fought his way back from a badly broken leg. Another hopeful ball from deep in midfield, and although Tommy Johnson gives chase, there was no hope of him getting on the end of it. Boulder with the kick. Charlton again try to use some width, hitting the ball forward. Cherry out. Minto trying to put Watson in there, but Cherry again spots the danger. Bartlett. Pitcher finds his keeper once again. A quiet opening this by both sides. Well, Draper has few options. It's the ball forward for Lund. Lund makes a good challenge. Balmer came out best and finds Pitcher. Ball cut inside to Reid. Pitcher has it back. A chance for Charlton. It's a deep cross. This could be dangerous, but Charlie Palmer's there with a headed clearance. The referee, Mr. Wright, seems to think there was a foul there. Not spilled again with Cherry. Charlton attack through Mackenzie. Mackenzie hits a deep cross. Cherry and Palmer a little bit confused, and Mark Draper has to clear the danger. Chance for Notts perhaps. Bartlett finds Thomas. Thomas unsure of his options and dallies a little bit too long. And the Notts supporters not at all happy as Tommy Johnson commits himself. Finds himself offside. Perhaps Thomas dallied a little bit too long on the ball there. Alex Dyer, the Charlton number 9, very willing to chase, even lost causes tonight. He's all over the pitch. Has a free roll up front for Charlton. Will he make use of it before the evening's out? Cherry prepares to take another one of those high long goal kicks. Mark Reid, a £40,000 capture by Lenny Lawrence. Perhaps one of the shrewdest bosses in the Football League. Performed miracles really to keep Charlton in the First Division so long. They of course were relegated last season and haven't had the best of starts in their first campaign back in the Second Division. But that 3-1 win at Newcastle has certainly given them a lift, and the confidence they've taken from that victory is quite evident in these early stages. Platnauer, half clearance. Jockeys well, but Charlton still managed an attack. Although the shot was wayward, Cherry wasn't at all troubled by that one. And with 23 minutes gone, Warnock yells more instructions to Dean Yates. It was Reid's shot there. It didn't even test the Notts keeper. County on the attack again. Lund happy to win the throw-in. Balmer will take it. Balmer finds Bartlett, an opening for Notts perhaps, and this could be dangerous. Charlton all over the place here. Thomas prepares to shoot. The ball blocked by Pitcher, but still County have possession. Thomas hits the ball back in. Charlton half clear, and this time Andy Peake brings the ball away. He's got Dyer to his left, but chooses to use the other wing, and Reid chases it. He won't get there, and Craig Short will have the throw-in. For a moment it seemed like Notts had prized Charlton open. Boulder's defenders were all at sea. The offside trap of Charlton certainly quite effective in these early stages. Notts without much to shout about. Gary Lund perhaps should have given them the lead on 15, heading just over the top. Robinson chips the ball forward. There's no one on the end of it. Draper has to chase. This time Notts are forced to defend, and Peake and Reid try and contrive something for Charlton. 5 players forward for Athletic, and Mackenzie on the edge of the box. A danger. Well, I was going to say a dangerous free kick, but Watson wasn't quite on the end of it. And once again, we have the situation of a goal kick. Plenty of those. But something we haven't had plenty of is goal-mouth action, certainly at Notts County's end, but we don't mind about that. And in the remaining 20 minutes of this first half, can Notts get a little bit more shape and test Athletic? Robinson leaves this one for Thomas. It's floated deep to the far post. Chance wasted. Neil Warnock had Charlton watched last week when they played Newcastle and was very impressed with what he saw. And so far not managing to prize Charlton open. Platnauer has to work. Watson closing him down. Platnauer forced to give away the throw-in on the far side. Mackenzie, who perhaps never quite fulfilled his early potential, makes his way towards the edge of the box. Charlton struggle for possession, but Notts have it once again. Chance for Lund. Lund tries to turn. Platnauer has it. Plenty of room to hit a ball forward, and does so. Tommy Johnson gives chase, but that's easy for Stuart Balmer. One of 2 former Celtic players in this side, the other one of course being Mark Reid. Notts under pressure again, and Charlie Palmer, quite solid at right back, comes to the rescue to deny Scott Minto. Dyer battles with Yates. Pitcher has options, hits it forward. Dyer's there again for the 1-2. Low shot by Pitcher. Cherry can't hold it. And at the second attempt, smothers that one as Watson zooms in at a rate of knots. Well, if that ball had bounced a little bit further away from Steve Cherry, Notts could well have found themselves a goal down, because Watson was alert to spot that one. Cherry thankfully smothered the ball. Johnson wins the header. Notts on the attack. Bartlett gives chase. Pitcher, the man whose shot tested Steve Cherry there, in the thick of the action, this time at the other end, turning the ball back to Bob Boulder. Dyer bustles with Yates, but Yates has the class, and Peake concedes the throw-in. Notts keeping their composure and try to build on that left-hand side. Kevin Bartlett chases, but once again Charlton more than happy to turn the ball back to the keeper. Haven't been tested perhaps as they should have been, but time yet for Notts to get a stranglehold. Platnauer versus Reid. Beg your pardon, that's Robert Lee, of course the number 7, who claims another Charlton throw. Well, Notts were dangerous from that corner early on, and Bob Boulder flapped at the ball at the near angle, and Gary Lund almost scored on 15 minutes, but since then Notts have been quiet. Charlton's turn to attack. And that one cleared well into the stand. It takes a deflection, and Nicky Platnauer has the throw on this cold night here at Meadow Lane. Balmer, it's Bartlett. Robinson can't keep hold of it, but Thomas gets hold. Chance now for young Tommy Johnson. The crowd roar him on. Johnson cuts into the box, a chance to shoot, does so, and boulders down very well at the near post. Rasping drive by Tommy Johnson, and that's the sort of approach work this Notts County crowd want to see tonight. Johnson, such a crowd pleaser here. Notts looking more determined. Draper giving Robinson a run, but Balmer, quite cool and composed at the back, finds Boulder again. Simon Webster thinks perhaps let's slow things down and reorganise. Yates very solidly behind the ball, but couldn't direct it to Tommy Johnson. As I was saying, Neil Warnock, the Notts manager, very keen to acknowledge the class in this Charlton side. They've got plenty of experience. Of course, just last season they were in the First Division and do have the ability to knock the ball around, and Warnock might need to come up with a few new ideas at the halfway point to try and break through this tight defence. Notts under pressure. Still a chance for Mackenzie, he can hit a ball. Peake under pressure from Robinson, nice flick. Well, Reid had the right idea, but Dyer and Watson were nowhere near the ball. Notts made such a terrific start to their return to the second division. And could tonight be the night when they get back to winning ways and regain their position back in the top 6. With West Ham and West Brom and Swindon Town coming here at Meadow Lane in the coming month, it's vital that Notts do get 3 points tonight. A chance perhaps with Palmer. but Balmer is there and has to give away a corner. And Dean Thomas is the man charged with the task of providing an accurate cross for Notts to go 1 up. 32 minutes of this first half gone. Yates goes to the near post. Bartlett's in there too. Palmer, the last man back for Notts County. The ball swung over. Boulder comes for the punch. And Mackenzie will just about beat Robinson to that one. Draper halts the flow. Rare attacking moment for Notts. Dean Thomas with the corner, but Boulder with the emphatic punch. Well, not one player's really shone in the midfield for either side. It's been gruelling, a hard battle, but nobody has been able to put a foot on the ball and really create some movement. But Notts try to break again. And Kevin Bartlett gives up on it. Platnauer puts himself under pressure and has to concede another throw-in. Dyer once again the menace, and he takes his place on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Darren Pitcher is the man who will take the throw. Mackenzie is available, but Dyer comes for it. So does number 7 Robert Lee, and Lee tries to find room for a shot. Determined defending by Dean Yates, and Bartlett back very deep here. He's going to hit a long ball. Robinson Chase got a vital touch. Minto hits it forward. Short defence. Peake wins it back. On the centre line, like a tennis net, but Notts get the ball back into Charlton's half. Boulder has possession. 10 minutes to the break, and still Notts looking for that breakthrough. Well, Charlton will be more than happy with their first half performance, although they haven't really tested Steve Cherry yet, apart from that occasion when Pitcher fired in that low shot, but Cherry managed to smother it at the second attempt. Notts throw. Thomas threw the ball long, and Simon Webster made a wild and inaccurate pass back to Boulder and concedes corner number 3. Notts have plenty of presence in the box. Craig Short takes his position inside the 6-yard box. It's swung in, but Boulder holds it very well. Short and Lund closing in, but the Charlton keeper made sure it was his. Charlton build with Reid. Notts concede a throw midway into their own half. Charlton's left side hasn't been used to much effect, but perhaps this is the chance for Minto. Cuts it inside, but Platnauer gets it away. Nicky Platnauer's worked as hard as anyone, but still the ball isn't cleared. Lee turns and crosses. Eight minutes of this first half remaining. Notts yet to break the deadlock. Bartlett battles hard to win it back. Can he put Tommy Johnson in? No, he can't. Reid was there first. And that miscontrol by Bartlett, perhaps typical of the way this first half has gone for Notts. The first touch hasn't been as good as it should have been, and Notts haven't been able to create enough attacking, flowing football. Charlton have a chance with Mackenzie, hits it wide for Lee. Draper covers well, but Lee cuts inside. He's got a chance to shoot, does so. Ball hitting Dean Thomas's ear. And that must have really stung tonight. It's a cold night here at Meadow Lane. And he'll get some attention. Referee looking rather concerned. But it was an important touch by Dean Thomas. And I'm sure Dean Thomas won't welcome Dave Wilson's cold sponge. Convinces the Notts physio that he's okay and resumes to take his place back in midfield as Steve Cherry takes the kick, hits long again. Lund with the jump. Fine effort by Phil Robinson, sheer opportunism there, the ball dropping from Gary Lund, and Robinson right-footed, firing just over the bar, and if that ball had dipped a little bit more, Charlton would have been a goal down because Boulder was well out of his 6-yard box. A good chance for Notts. Charlton's free kick, there's certainly been plenty of those. A scrappy first half really, lots of free kicks, lots of throw-ins, and quite a few offsides. Nothing created. Peake, a delicate chip forward. Webster wins the header, chance for Dyer, ball still breaks for him, Watson has a stab. And bad communication between the Charlton strikers there. Dyer and Watson both prepared to have a go, but it fell to Watson in the end, and he stabbed it well wide. Let off for Notts. Darren Pitcher testing Cherry with that long low drive, and Watson stabbing that one wide. That sums up the best of Charlton's attacking movements in this opening period. But still the red shirts have possession, Notts have to defend. Testing time for County, 5 minutes remaining of this first half. It would be a disaster to concede a goal now, but it could happen. And Watson once again gets in behind the Notts defence, but blasts that right foot shot high onto the cop. And we've seen in those last two attacking movements by Charlton that Notts perhaps are slightly vulnerable. That long ball swung in from the left-hand side, and Watson made contact, granted not effectively, but he did get on the end of it before a Notts defender. Mr. Warnock will have a few words. Dyer beaten again by Dean Yates. Notts still defending though. Dyer knocks it back. Chance for Lee. Yates blocks it again. Notts can build. Robinson. Well, Lee telegraphed that one to Bartlett, but still Charlton have the ball. Nice interchange of passing. Short, cool on the ball. 3 minutes of this first half remain. Can Notts pinch a goal? Balmer has time, has space. Finds Robinson. Robinson checks. Cuts inside to Draper. Notts build. Draper turns direction once again and shrugs off two challenges, now three. and 4, chance for Notts. Draper shoots, hits the post. Oh, what a fine move by County. Well, certainly that's the closest they've come to scoring. And Mark Draper in the side as a replacement for Phil Turner. Beats 4 tackles there, riding each challenge so beautifully. And his left foot shot hitting the upright. And the Notts crowd warm to it. Draper prepared to pick up the gauntlet and spearhead this Notts challenge. Well, a goal 2 minutes before half time would have been just the tonic for County. There's still time. Long sweeping ball from the back, but it's Boulder's goal kick again. This game is certainly there for the taking if Notts can sustain those attacking movements. A couple of half chances have fallen to Charlton, but nothing really for Notts to worry about. And if they can make more of their possession in this second half, then there's every chance that we could be in for a good and exciting second 45 minutes. Thomas, another driving run forward. The ball eventually goes where he wants it to. Draper, man of the moment. Well, Tommy Johnson's first touch disappointing, and Charlton allowed to clear up. And Boulder will take all the time he needs as we approach the half-time whistle. Dyer this time beats Yates to the header. Cherry finds Johnson. Wayward effort. Charlton largely limited to long-range shooting. And Nicky Platnauer certainly has been tested by more than one player in this first half, but he's been equal to every test so far. Charlton not playing with an orthodox winger. Dyer, Watson and Robert Lee have all had a chance to show what they can do. So the half-time whistle goes here at Meadow Lane. Notts unable to break the deadlock. It's 0-0. So the two teams come out to start this second half, and with me now on the commentary gantry is Notts County's Don O'Riordan, and he'll give his comments on the first half.
Well, it's been a disappointing first half really. We've created 1 or 2 chances, but not really taking the game by the scruff of the neck and caused them many problems. Charlton are a good team though. They've got a lot of very good skillful players, and they're no mugs. They'll work very hard. They've got a couple of experienced players, Mackenzie and Peake, and there's no way they'll lie down and die. With them holding it till 0-0 at half time now, they'll fancy the chance of nicking a goal in the second half. So we've just got to try and get a goal, and I think once we do, I think that we'll dominate the game, but a goal is what we need, so let's hope we can get one early on now.
Thank you, Don O'Riordan. Referee Mr. Wright gets the second half underway, and as Don says, Notts must really step up a gear in a bid to find that breakthrough. Mark Draper's brilliant jinking run in 43 minutes was the best effort that Notts could conjure, beating 4 challengers and shooting against the right-hand post. but Gary Lund will also be ruining that miss of his on 15 minutes. The header just over the top. And Phil Robinson wasn't far away with that dipping volley. Notts have a free kick. Plenty of men forward. Charlton break. Dyer's wide ball sets off another attack. Minto vying there with Charlie Palmer. And some confusion as to which way that kick goes. Cherry supplies the big kick. Lund supplies the flick on. Bartlett. Well, it dropped quite nicely there for Gary Lund. Had to hit it first time. Bartlett flicked it on. And a good recovery by Lund there, getting on the end of Cherry's kick. And then, a split second later, on the end of Bartlett's touch and shooting not too far wide. Well, we've had about a quarter of this football season, and Notts near the top, Charlton near the bottom, and that fact demonstrates just how close the whole second division table is, because not a league of difference between these two sides tonight. Very closely contested affair, and Charlton concentrate on keeping possession. Well, that back pass by Webster indicates that Charlton would be more than happy with a point, as most teams would. He'll visit Meadow Lane this season. Well, David Regis, the second half substitute, of course replacing Tommy Johnson, will be looking for his second goal in consecutive games after scoring at Oldham on Saturday. An ambitious effort by Notts County. And the substitution of Tommy Johnson is just as ambitious. And Johnson hasn't really been playing up to his huge potential in these last few matches, and obviously did little to impress Neil Warnock in the first half. David Regis joining the Notts attack, but for now it's a Charlton free kick which Andy Peake will take. Charlton's midfield creator, Andy Peake, been around for some years. Robinson concedes another throw. Charlton, 3 men in the box. Still have possession, try to find a way through. Ball comes back for Peake. An opportunity here for Minto. Minto turns, and the cross deflected, but still Charlton have the ball. Peake with a shot. Speculative effort, didn't trouble Cherry at all. this game cancelled in the first place because of Tommy Johnson's England under-21 call-up, and Johnson at that time earlier on in the season was certainly at the top of his game. It's ironic that he's substituted in the match that was rearranged to accommodate his international debut. Knox on the attack. Brave header by Webster, almost at the feet of Gary Lund. Thomas, long throw just inside the box. Well, Lund bungled down there by number 2 Darren Pitcher, and quite rightly the referee gives Knox the free kick. Chance for County to break the deadlock. 6 minutes of the second half gone. Mark Draper will take the free kick. The Knots have 6 players forward, 3-man wall. Knots looking busy at the far post. It was whipped in fast and furious by Mark Draper, but too fast really, because David Regis was never really in with a chance of getting a touch on. Well, goals breed confidence for strikers and for teams, and David Regis has every right to be confident to scoring at Boundary Park on Saturday. Peake does his best to defuse that little situation between Mackenzie and Thomas. And both such keen competitors. And Charlton attack again. Balmer has plenty of time as Watson tries to close down, but Mackenzie puts Charlton back on the attack. Platnauer finds the keeper. Not spilled yet again. Fine control there by Bartlett. Finds Thomas. Pitcher claims the throw. Neil Warnock congratulates Dean Thomas for some industry on the touchline. The throw certainly wasn't worthy of congratulation. Bartlett was going to sprint for the byline, try to cut inside, but that's good enough because he wins the corner. Pitcher getting the touch. Knott's 4th corner of the game. Bartlett takes up his position at the far post. Knott's with a physical presence in the box. The corner floated over. Bowler can't hold it, and the ball finds its way in the back of the net. But there's pushing on the keeper. Dean Yates was in there, but the referee quick to spot the push, and the goal instantly ruled out. Both Bartlett and Yates going in on Boulder as he came for the cross. Well, Knott's wait nearly 10 minutes into the second half to get the ball in the back of the net. Let's hope the next opportunity will count. Knott's free kick. Draper finds Thomas. Thomas can shoot here, but it's blocked. Mackenzie gives it to Watson. Watson tries to put in Reid. In fact, it's number 7 Lee there, denied by goalkeeper Steve Cherry. equally effective as a central defender, Steve Cherry. And quite rightly, the Notts supporters acknowledge that there's only one Steve Cherry. Well, this second half just as untidy as the first, really. The free kick, high and long, but safe for the keeper. Charlton, goal kick. And Dyer's foot was quite high there, but Yates got in the header. Regis aims at Bartlett. Yates punts the ball forward. Charlton under pressure. Draper versus Minto. Draper waits for Palmer. Palmer has to check. Loses possession. Charlton dangerous on the break. Here's Lee. He goes backwards too. And finds Reid. Nice skills by Dyer. But the wrong side of the touchline. Charlton have lost 3 key players in the close season. John Williams, Paul Williams, John Humphrey and Joe McLaughlin. Lenny Lawrence forced to bring in some youthful players to replace those people. But after a sticky start, Charlton got that fine result against Newcastle and are so far quite admirably matching the challenge of Notts County. 13 minutes of this second half gone. Chance for Notts with Regis. Puts into the box, has to shoot first time. Just got his right foot on the end of it. Could supply the power but not the direction. And Boldo once again faces that open terrace to retrieve the ball and take another Charlton goal kick. Steve Cherry telling his teammates to watch the ball. Nicky Platnauer certainly has to, and does so with some effect. It's a Notts throw, it's good enough. And Dean Thomas will take this one. Good movement forward. But Webster playing a fine game in the heart of the defence. He was the man who cut that attack out, and Watson breaks for Charlton. Finds Reid. Reid hits Dyer. Minto. Yates gives him some close attention, but still Charlton come forward. Dyer, this is an opportunity for the Reds. And Dyer proving quite a handful for Yates, who still can't win the ball. And the linesman over on the far side is happy to give a free kick to Charlton. Well, Dean Yates certainly had his hands full there with Alex Dyer. The West Ham born winger who was signed on a month's loan from Crystal Palace recently after lengthy spells with Blackpool and Hull City earlier on in his career. Notts defend in numbers. Peake could well be the man who'll take this free kick. Yates is lectured. Unhappy with the linesman's decision, Dean Yates, but nevertheless he must get on with it. Peake hits the free kick. Cherry collects. Well, Dyer was in a dangerous position, and so was Watson. Watson heading for the far post, but the Notts County keeper rising majestically to pluck that one from the air as Dean Thomas breaks for Notts. Platnauer's in support. Thomas with that long throw, but it's cleared again by Webster. Chance for Robinson. The ball dropping on that right foot, but too high, too wide. Notts still stalemate. Simon Webster, who's played so well for Charlton at the heart of the back four tonight, was a close season signing from Sheffield United. Stuart Balmer playing alongside him. Came south of the border from Celtic. Useful combination. Notts still have to unlock it. Goal kick towards Regis. Robinson has the ball. Palmer. Another unpopular decision. Charlton given the free kick right on the halfway line. And Stuart Balmer is the man who will take it. Webster has pushed forward. Charlton perhaps can pinch a goal. Webster gets the flick on. It's forward to Dyer. Platnauer with the head back. And Cherry has to take it high. But a nice soft header back by Platnauer. He's not had a bad game, Nicky Platnauer. Draper breaks. He beat 4 men in that run in the first half, but loses out here. Still Charlton. Lee trying to impress with the flick on. Dyer wasn't amused. Charlton come under pressure again as Regis gives chase. Boulder collects the ball in front of those Charlton banners, which are raised very proudly. With 18 minutes of this second half gone, Notts still to force the deadlock. Notts certainly not short of commitment in the challenge, but what they are short of so far is pattern and method, because Charlton haven't allowed them to settle. Notts haven't strung together enough flowing passes. Short. Reid has to clear and does so. The ball finds Robinson over on the far side, cuts inside to Draper. Draper makes inroads into the box, but again Charlton recover. Mark Draper, of course, had that lengthy run in the side at the start of the season. Phil Turner out injured, and Turner on the injured list once again tonight. Draper wears the number 8 shirt with such pride. An outstanding young prospect, Mark Draper. And he has been the unluckiest Notts County player tonight, hitting the post after that fine jinking run, beating 4 players just before half time. But near misses won't be good enough for Notts County. They must turn their chances and possession into goals. Charlie Palmer has the throw-in. Lund comes for it, flicks it inside, chance for Robinson. Robinson checks. It might have been Thomas himself who was in an offside position as he received that ball. Couldn't resist volleying towards goal though, even though the whistle had gone. And Neil Warnock making his presence felt from the bench. He's telling Dean Yates to communicate a little bit more at the back, and he'll certainly have to do that because Charlton are dangerous. There's Minto, runs at Palmer, gives himself too much to do. Charlie Palmer though concedes the corner. Charlton have plenty of players in the box. The ball flighted to the near post to Webster, but it's cleared, and Lund was the man getting behind it. Notts have a dead ball situation. Cherry, the extra defender. Notts have been relying quite heavily on the long ball forward tonight. So far, it's given little reward. And only when Notts have picked the ball up in midfield and created something from deeper positions have they looked effective, with Mark Draper hitting the post and Gary Lund heading just over the top. Regis comes over to the left-hand side. Webster has to clear the danger. Another Notts throw. Thomas given room to cross. And an own goal it must be. Yes, it is. What a tragedy for Charlton Athletic. Well, Dean Thomas was given room to cross from the throw-in. Put in a fairly low cross towards the near post, hoping someone might latch onto it. And Charlton concede a tragic own goal. And Notts leading almost by default. And Stuart Balmer, who's been so strong, so effective at the heart of the Charlton defence tonight, concedes that own goal. Tried to slide the ball for a corner, but only succeeded in turning it into his own goal. Bob Boulder was well beaten. Perhaps that might be the spur for Notts to build upon. Platnauer hits it forward for Bartlett. And Darren Pitcher gets the ball back to Boulder, so Notts have the lead after 23 minutes of this second half. 68 minutes of the game. Quite ironic that Notts should take the lead in that kind of style. There was really no one putting Balmer under pressure when he turned that ball over his own goal line. And Notts scenting a second. Charlton certainly not dead and buried. And Lee pushes this one forward, gives Minto a run. Craig Short has to come across, but still Minto has possession just inside the box. Short must jockey. Hit back for Reid. And Minto once again interchanges with Reid. Here's Dyer. He's the danger man. Yates waits for his moment. And Dyer puts it inside. This is an opportunity for Charlton, and it's there. An instant equaliser, an instant reply. And Robert Lee has given Charlton the lifeline. Well, Dean Yates perhaps allowed Dyer too much respect out on the far side. Dyer kept possession very well, And when the ball was played in to Robert Lee, he had a really simple opportunity of blasting the ball low and hard into the far corner, and Notts, given the lead virtue of an own goal from Stuart Balmer, are now back to stalemate. "71 minutes of this game gone, and Notts not even given time to settle on that lead. And Dean Yates hasn't had an easy time with Alex Dyer. Dyer's skill on the ball as he held up that one created the opportunity for Lee to beat Cherry. It was going to take a fine strike to beat the goalkeeper, and he was given no chance with it. Notts then must rise to the occasion now. Thomas goes for the tackle but loses out. With 19 minutes remaining, Notts must step up a gear. For so long we'd waited patiently for a goal, and we have two in the space of just 3 minutes. Balmer, own goal for Notts. Lee, fine strike for Charlton. Opening for County, Regis. He's got Bartlett in the box, crosses too early, too wide. And the Notts County supporters shake their heads in despair. Yates wins the battle against Dyer. Well, Dean Thomas has certainly been at the centre of a few angry exchanges. And the referee's notebook comes out for the first time, and Steve Mackenzie is the name that'll be written in it. Mackenzie shown the yellow card, and so is Dean Thomas. He tries to talk his way out of it. So two players booked. 28 minutes of the second half gone. Mackenzie for Charlton, Thomas for Notts County. Well, it's not been a bad-tempered game, but referee Mr. Wright tries to take some heat out of the situation as Notts push for the winner. Could this be the opportunity for Bartlett? The boulder was out very quickly. Charlton build. Watson back helping his own defence. Peake finds Webster. Another big boot forward. Both Regis and Bartlett looking so similar. Giving chase to that. But these long hopeful balls aren't the answer for Notts County tonight. They've got to take the battle to Charlton and win it. And with only 16 minutes remaining, much improvement is needed throughout the Notts ranks. Yates with the free kick. Notts have 8 men forward, but it's a Charlton goal kick. Notts' second sub, incidentally, is Chris Short, Craig Short's brother, a defender who isn't really likely to play much of a part in this game. Notts needing all the strike force they can muster. And the substitution of Tommy Johnson to be replaced by David Regis has yet to bear fruits. Charlton attacking Notts' goal now. Chance for the goal scorer Lee. Lee shoots. Well, he had Cherry backpedaling, surprised everyone there. The cross was expected, he shot instead. It wasn't too far away. Yates beats Dyer to the challenge, but still Charlton have it. Strong positive run by Watson. Short gives close attention, but Watson gets in the cross. It's dangerous. Platnauer gets it away. Notts clear their lines again. Bartlett holds it, waiting for support, and finds it in the shape of Mark Draper. Draper. Well, Lee has been given a new lease of life after scoring. He's all over the place, and had no intentions at all of letting young Mark Draper get past him there. "13 minutes remain, and Charlton hold the initiative with possession. Ball pushed forward for Mackenzie. Cherry gets it. It's 1-1. Can Notts get that second goal? Not like that, they won't, because Pitcher has it again. And it's pushed wide for the goal scorer Lee. Lee's going to run at Draper, gets in another cross. Well, almost. Palmer got in the way. Charlton seem to be winning the challenges. Dyer lets it drop for Lee. Oh, fine shot, fine save. Still not away. Cherry couldn't hold it. It was Lee who had the shot, I think, there. Cherry could only palm it away. Nicky Platnauer, thankfully, got the clearance. Well, it could have been Lee, could have been Minto there with the shot. Both players closing in, and it was certainly fierce and certainly warmed the hands of Notts County's goalkeeper Steve Cherry. In just a few moments after I forecast that Chris Short wouldn't take much of a part in the game, he does actually come on in place of Phil Robinson. And young Chris Short has 12 minutes in which to make an impact on this game. Notts supporters angry for the goal kick was given, but the Notts players have no argument. And Neil Warnock has played both of his ace cards. David Regis replacing Tommy Johnson at the halfway point, and now Chris Short comes on for midfielder Phil Robinson. Will we see a change? Not for the moment, because Charlton have the ball with Simon Webster, a sturdy rock at the heart of the Charlton defence. Well, Platnauer has given a little away at the back. He makes sure Watson is pushed all the way back into his own half. Yates. Free header for Short. And that's Craig Short. Cherry hits another one of those long goal kicks. Notts have three players forward, but again, yet again, the ball finds its way through to Bob Boulder. And with 10 minutes remaining, Boulder will be quite happy to swallow up those sort of kicks. Chris Short gets a touch to his fellow substitute David Regis, who finds Palmer. The break in play now. The Charlton physio to come on and administer treatment. And Charlton skipper Andy Peake is the man on the deck. The time added on for this, of course. A few more vital seconds for Notts, perhaps, to steal the winner. Well, they've left it late on so many occasions this season. And Dean Thomas always seems to be the man who provides that late goal. And can he do it again tonight? Peake climbs to his feet to continue the good fight. Notts have 5 players forward. The ball drops for Thomas. Thomas, a rasping drive. It was certainly turning, but Boulder had it covered all the way. Craig Short, the first of the Short brothers to arrive at Notts County, turns it all the way back to Steve Cherry, who steals a good 10 yards. But once again, Darren Pitcher finds Boulder. Well, Notts have seemed short on ideas in this game. And time's certainly running out. Minto won that ball. Webster has all the time in the world. A few more valuable seconds tick by as Boulder has yet another goal kick. It's high and long, aimed at Dyer. Ball breaks, Watson gives chase. Cherry's there first. Platnauer instigates another Notts attack. Chris Short hits it inside for Mark Draper. Whistle goes. Notts offside. So central defender Stuart Balmer giving Notts the lead, gifting Notts the lead on 68. But on 71, Robert Lee brought Charlton right back into it to set up perhaps an interesting last 7 minutes. This game hasn't been blessed with an awful lot of goalmouth action, but it only takes 1 second now for Notts to find the winner. Let's hope they can do it. Yates ventures forward, roared on by the crowd. And Notts have the free kick. Yates continues to make ground forward. He's going to go right to the far side of the box together with David Regis and Gary Lund. The Notts strongman Craig Short is also pushing forward. And Gary Bartlett stands on the other side of the D. Thomas, another flighted free kick. It's going to break just for Chris Short, who's under pressure from Robert Lee. Short inside to Palmer. Palmer drives forward, a powerful fullback Palmer. Charlton defend resolutely. And Nicky Platnauer's had to go right over to the far side of the pitch to follow Lee. And he's been treated with a great deal of respect now as Platnauer retreats to position himself a few yards behind Watson as Notts have possession. Short finds Thomas. All the way back for Yates. He's the last man. He's going to hit it forward. Does so. Jump for Palmer. Still Notts have it with Short. It was a tight angle and not a bad effort, but it was never goal bound. And Notts go back to the drawing board. 5 minutes to go. Boulder's goal kick. Yates applauds the linesman's offside decision and sprints forward, adding muscle to the Notts attack. It's certainly needed. Less than 5 minutes remain. Craig Short's free kick hit well forward. Confusion between Webster and Boulder, and Boulder almost took Webster's head with the ball, and it's a Notts County throw over on the far side. Not a big attendance tonight, but certainly the Notts supporters here urging their side on to find this winning goal in the closing stages. The long throw comes in, it breaks for short. And Boulder's happy to adjust his stocking and let that one run out of play. For one of Charlton's countless goal kicks. Balmer, a relieved man, to giving away that own goal. Leaping high. He's played well at the heart of the defence with Simon Webster. In fact, Charlton have put in quite a workmanlike performance here at Meadow Lane to keep Notts to this 1-1 situation. They've certainly been well worth the point if they do achieve it. I certainly don't want to preempt Charlton pinching 3 points, but let's hope Notts can. County push forward with Thomas. He's got options, hits it for Bartlett wide. Well, Bartlett had to come right inside for that, but was never in a position to beat Darren Pitcher to the ball. Penalty claims waved away. Nice ball by Platnauer, finds Regis. A chance again for Notts. Regis takes stock, has Palmer in support. Breaks for Chris Short, pile driver. Boulder dive to cover it, but the shot well wide. 3 minutes on the clock, time still running out for Notts. And this looks like becoming 7 games without a win. And Neil Warnock still bidding to arrest the slide from the top reaches of the table. Boulder with the goal kick. And Charlton have looked equal to Notts in every department, but County still have a chance of finding the winner. Bartlett struggles to bring the ball under control. Minto clears, finds Lee, and Lee is happy to keep possession. That's the name of the game now. And a fine crossfield pass. In fact, it's a little bit too ambitious, and Pitcher won't chase it. He'll retreat and try to get back behind Gary Lund, but Webster gives close attention. It's a goal kick. Notts won't have time to mount too many more attacks. Will they make the next one count? Well, with this game so tenderly balanced, Charlton, of course, can snatch the spoils. But Yates has other ideas, gives a chance for Regis. Regis must be in here, has a chance to shoot. Ball breaks, Notts have scored. Notts have scored. Well, Regis provided the menace. Boulder couldn't stop it. Kevin Bartlett leaves it late, but gets the vital touch. And Notts have the lead. Drama here at Meadow Lane. We're well into the last minute, and Kevin Bartlett has given Notts County that 2-1 advantage.
Come in. Come on.
Charlton still trying to get back on level terms through Robert Lee. And maybe this score isn't settled yet because Charlton have a corner. And Steve Mackenzie's going to take it. At the near post, Webster provides the flick, still not cleared. Must be a chance, it's there! And Charlton have levelled once again. What drama here at Meadow Lane as Gordon Watson volleys the ball home, lashing that one into the roof of the net. It was Mackenzie's corner. Webster provided the flick at the near post, and Watson has levelled for Charlton for a second time. By my watch, 30 seconds into time added on. And Notts County, for the second time in this game, let the advantage slip. And with it 3 points. And surely now Notts are going to have to be happy with just a share of the points. But there's still time. Notts drive forward through Platnauer. A chance for Bartlett to chase, but Simon Webster, who created that goal, defends very firmly. Well, this game has taken so many peculiar twists, but Notts still push for the third goal. It won't arrive because the Charlton supporters away to my left are celebrating a fine draw for Athletic, and I must say it's a draw they do deserve because they've defended resolutely throughout. They've matched Notts County in every department, but Notts manager Neil Warnock will be far from happy with the way his side squandered 2 advantages. The first given to them by Stuart Balmer on 68 minutes, a tragic own goal for Charlton, but the breakthrough Notts needed. Charlton 3 minutes later were level through Robert Lee, and although Notts scored in just about the last minute through Kevin Bartlett, they still couldn't hold the lead, and Charlton pinch a share of the spoils with virtually the last kick of the match, 30 seconds into injury time. And young striker Gordon Watson, just 19 years old, has given Charlton a 2-2 draw here at Meadow Lane.